when my life really began, even though I had wonderful things happen before that. I was 23, okay, I already had 3 of my kids at that time, but I was very, very, I was very depressed, even suicidal. I should, but, and it was just, I don't know, I was having a really hard time holding it together, and I would go in the bathroom actually with knives, but I didn't do anything because I love my kids. My marriage, maybe it was kind of volatile, but, and I thought, if I did something to me, I knew I would go to hell. I thought it was I was raised and I knew some Bible stories and that, but I had it in my head, but not in my heart. I even went to Good News Club, but it was in my head, it wasn't in my heart. I wasn't born again. And so I thought it was like a scale, okay? If you had more good deeds than bad, so okay, that's good, maybe you go to heaven then, or but if you have more bad. And so I know I had more bad. So I thought I can't do anything for myself because I thought it out. But I had a couple of people who were witnessing to me, asked me to go to Bible study, and I thought, no, that's not me. That's, that seemed a little too tame for me or something, I don't know, but it just, I just didn't think I would like that. But they kept praying for me. And so one thing that I was doing that I didn't realize was so detrimental to me was that I was reading occult books, okay? I guess I was in this book club, I didn't realize at first what all they were reading out there. But I was reading that, and I knew that, and as I read, I ended up knowing things. So I thought, how do I even know this? And it was kind of scary to me. And so, anyhow, I had what you call divine laryngitis. Okay, that's what I would call it. And I couldn't talk. I was taking medicine and everything. Went to the doctors, and I had this divine laryngitis. So, anyhow, one night, I went to bed, and I never had anything like this happen to me in my life. But the Spirit of God came all over me. And there was an urge within to say, Lord. And I said, Lord, 3 times. And each time, my voice came back stronger and stronger and stronger. And I thought, he's for real, he's for real. And a verse I learned in Sunday school years ago, John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. He's for real. My friend asked me, said she was going to this non-denominational Bible study, like it was met in a home. She said, would you like to go with her and her husband to church next night? I said, sure. And before that, somebody would approach me about that, and that wasn't me. I said, sure. I went there, and there were all these young people, because I was young back then too, and they were raising their hands, praising God, and some of them were speaking in tongues, something I've never heard of before. I've never heard of speaking in tongues. That's funny, I never heard of it. And also in the meantime too, I told my friend about the book. She said, you can bring them with you. Okay, so I had a box full of these books. And anyhow, so then they laid hands on me and they prayed in tongues. And then they said, come on to the backyard. They had a bonfire. And we had a big book army, big book burning, okay? And that's scriptural. We don't hear about it now, but maybe we should, It was in Acts, 19th chapter, where they took their magical arts, right, and they burned the books. Yeah. And as they burned the books, they were praying for me some more, and my friend said, you gotta go look in the mirror, because you're glowing. I went in the bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, and I was glowing. I was like, wow. like Moses. When Moses came off the mount, he was glowing, and people couldn't even look at him, and I was just glowing. And wow, I just never heard of anything like this before, but I said, God, whatever you have, I want it all. I want whatever you have. Whatever you have, I want it. And so I went home, and there was the next day or something, I had loaned out some of these books. They came back to me. They dropped them off and burned them too. And I went, which is called through deliverance, and then I felt some things leave me that shouldn't have been there, because when you dabble in the occult, you dabble in satanic territory there. You're opening up your spirit to demonic things. And it's not only that, God lists them in Deuteronomy, the things that we should avoid, and He lists them because He knows that they will hurt us spiritually. And these things that we don't get out of them, we don't get delivered, we will go to hell. Because we haven't believed on Jesus to get delivered from. And so, anyhow, God set me free, He's left and everything. I thought, I want everything God has, and I want His tongues, and stuff. So, what that much longer? I saw it for a little while, but then I knelt beside my bed, and God baptized me in the Holy Spirit. I didn't have to have anybody, I just you're praying in tongues. And I was like, wow. And then another thing God did not too long after that, God was giving me such a love for people, and such, I wanted everybody to know about Jesus. But He also, God allowed me to feel out. And it was only for a few, only just a couple of seconds, but it was the most awful experience that you ever want to know. I didn't see it or that, I just felt it in my spirit. It was so awful that I can't even describe it. And when Pastor spoke on hell, not long ago, I thought, yeah, we need to hear the other side, because we don't want anybody to go there. No one. So that's how I got saved. Now, when I was in the first marriage, okay, neither one of us, knew Jesus and stuff like that. And I ended up having 4 kids. And that, unfortunately, my husband, he said, I don't even know you. You aren't the girl I married. And I wasn't the same person. I got Jesus. But unfortunately, he did that. Things got really bad. And so it didn't last. Well, but I prayed for him, and he got married to somebody else, but I still prayed for him. And 45 years later, he called me on the phone. I think I had shared this with some of you before. He called me on the phone, and he said, Sue, are we all right? I said, you mean, have I forgiven you? I said, oh yeah, I forgave you a long time ago. And then I said to him, why are you asking this? Did you ask Jesus to come into your heart? And he said, yes. So keep up your prayers. 45 years later, God can save. So anyhow, I went through a lot of things. I worked over time, but I also went to school there too. You go there for free if you're working there. Took a long time, but I got my degree. First of all, I took secretarial, and I switched over, and I got my degree in English. And so in the evenings, I teach for Tech and stuff like that. And over time, there were a lot of internationals, and I don't know, they just gravitated to me or whatever. And so I used to bring a lot of them to church. Pastor Zach could tell you that. A few of them aren't with him after. But that's okay. That's okay. They would come, and they were my friends, and I had such a good for the internationals. And so I would go up to the InterVarsity was pretty, big on campus, and so I would go up with the InterVarsity ones, and we'd go up peninsula with the international house party or whatever. But it was a week long, and they could go to Bible studies if they wanted, and things like that. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful way of witnessing to them. You know, it's kind of located if they wanted it, they could have it, you know, stuff we share with them. And there was other things, and then another thing, well, and also somebody paid for an alumni paid for me to go overseas. I was overseas a month. I went over to India. Most of the time I was in India, and I went by myself, but I had names and address or phone numbers of people. So when I get to somebody, call the next, you know, that I would go to. So anyway, so I went all over India. I did not go up to Calcutta, and we could not go up to Kashmir, but most of the other places I went. And so I passed out tracts there, you know. I had tracts that I got from the missionary class, and I had some in Arabic and some in English, and so I passed out tracts. I just would everybody's in Jesus, but anyhow, so they decided, you know, that's the in India, you know, they believe in lots of gods, but maybe it was just another one that they got. They were passing out in the trains and on the plane. I remember I passed back a bunch of tracts on the plane, and here there were all of these, because India, they have all kinds, but mostly it's Hindu, but they have a lot of Muslims there too. And so I was passing back tracts, and here were a bunch of people that had just got back from the Hajj, and so they were taking these and everything. Yes, you know. And so that was a wonderful thing, you know, being able to work with the international. I taught ESL, English as a second language. My students were all the Arab guys. Okay, they were all from Saudi Arabia, so I think there was one from Yemen. And so, you know, I taught English and stuff like that. And it's Christmas time. I also got New Testaments again from World Missionary Press. Wrapped them all up and gave them all presents. So they had New Testaments in Arabic. And you know what God did with them, God is going to do with them. So anyhow, they had the tools there. That's where. And so I love that. I love working with the internationals, and they also, you know, it was good. I also did prison ministry. Again, I went by myself. I prayed for years for God to give me somebody to go with me. That didn't happen, but God didn't post the work for me to go either. These ladies, okay, Irene and Louise, they are part of my prayer thing. They people were prayers, you know. So I didn't go up in alone. I went in and decided I would go. So all of my people would see, you know, so I just wanted to be obedient. But so I saw a lot of miracles here, and I don't have time to go in yet. I just have time for one more thing. Okay, and I probably saw about 30 or so people, you know, just kind of do it loud, you know, and that like that. So share with them the word of God, maybe get something from out of the snack machine like that. So, and one thing I want to share that happened fairly recently, and I thought that was all shot, because back then, you could go and see, you could have more, you could see more visitors than just one. Now you can only see one, you know, unless you were like a mother that had like two sons in there, and but other than that, so you can't really do that like you used to. But I got a phone call fairly recently ago. And this was in I think it was in February. I got a phone call, and it was a friend of my husband's, and spoke to me and said, "You need to talk to him about me." And so, you know, got off the phone, said, "Hey, Fuji, you need to talk to him about me." I said, "I'm so sorry, God. I am so sorry." And, you know, and I was really sorry. Yeah, And so the next day I texted him, I said, call me. So he called me, and I said, do you know Jesus is your personal savior? And he didn't know how to answer me, and I knew he didn't, you know. And then he didn't want to hear it. He really didn't want to hear it. So I got off the phone. I was like crying. I said, God, I did what you told me to do, and he didn't want to hear it. And I don't know, there was such an urgency too, and I couldn't stop crying about it, okay? And then he called back maybe a couple weeks or so later, and he was all choked up. He couldn't hardly say what he wanted to say. He was like, I said, what is it? What is it? And I said, do you want to know about Jesus? He said, yes, yes. Do you want to know how to ask him in your heart? And he said, yes, yes. I said, repeat this prayer after me, say it out loud, and mean it in your heart. So he prayed the sinner's prayer after me. And then he told me why he had been crying. His family, down in India, were nearly all blown away. He had a nephew that was 17 and that killed, they killed or shot at 7 of them. 6 of them were killed. And he said, you know, his mom was alive, and the one that got shot that wasn't killed, he was in, you know, they thought he would live. But I found out since he'd been in psychiatric care, like, because it was so traumatic to him. And I guess they're charging the 17-year-old nephew. And he said he was always really rebellious. But, okay, so 6 of the people in his family were killed, but it affected all of us, you know, the rest of them, obviously. And so we have been, our Bible studies have been praying for him. And so I only heard him a couple more times, you know, but he again, he didn't know what to say. I said, you want to know, are we praying for you and your mom? And he said, yes, are you praying? And I said, yes, we are. And so that's what he wanted to know. He just wanted to know. I just know his nickname, so I won't, but anyhow, if you could pray for the guy who was his family, like and this is why it's alive in psychiatric care. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say right now.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.